Hello, Alex. Hello, Peter, and hello, Zarziolas. Zarziolas. How you guys doing today? Good afternoon, Mr. Asaja. Hope you're doing well. Baha, I love sex. Who does not? Sex brings you to the light. Who doesn't love the light? Right? Orgasm is a transcending moment. I love watching your live streams during my workouts. Have a good workout. Make sure you breathe deeply. Pretend like you're in a cold shower. Breathe deeply with every rep, and you'll kill it. You'll perform 20-30% better than usual. If you really watch your breath. Okay? Sid Kapoor, what's up, my man? Hope you guys all having a beautiful afternoon and everything is good with you. I want to tell you guys something here, since we still don't have any questions. So I'm basically taking up a project to become fully solar powered, meaning to stop eating altogether and instead live off the light. Now, I made a video today about it, so look out for it in either tomorrow or Monday. But I believe in the next 3 years, maybe in 2 years, an optimistic view would be 2 years, but a more realistic one would be 3 years. I believe I will no longer have need for any food. I believe I will be able to be fully sustained energetically from the sun. Now, I'm not just saying this out of my ass. I've been studying this stuff for a while, and I'm still like very much an intermediate, very much a beginner. I have a few teachers that I follow, but I really believe this is the future, guys. Okay, and I just wanted to share this with you guys here. Sutun, good day, Saeed. I was just getting on YouTube to watch your new videos and life pops up. Perfect. Blessings, Sutun. Thank you for your appreciation, your consistent appreciation of my videos. I appreciate your appreciation, so thank you. Run us through what your daily routine is. So, today I woke up at 6. I went and sun gazed for 10 minutes, and again, I'm still getting into all this solar powered way of being, right? So I started sun gazing. So I sun gazed around 7. That's when the sun came out. From 7 to 7:30, came home, did some Wim Hof breathing and some energy work. I worked out, took a cold shower, made some videos, had my meal today, and here I am doing the live streams. And in the evenings, I'll go do a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours Uber, and probably keep digging into the rabbit holes that I'm consistently digging myself deeper and deeper into. Just always learning, basically. I always have something, like I always have my earphones in and I'm always listening to something. I'm sort of an addict now for life, for the Tao, for prana. Saeed, is one meal a day even more beneficial if you have a physically active job like in construction? Yeah, for sure, like absolutely. If you can adapt your body to program it, all you're doing is reprogramming. Now, going on that whole, I started off by saying that I'm going to be living off the sun. I'm not going to be eating within 3 years. I'm now in the process of reprogramming my body and my mind to live off the elements. In the same way, if you program your body right now, and you've got to go step by step here, you've got to go, baby steps. If you start to program your mind body complex right now to eat once a day and you have a physically active job, first few days is going to be difficult. But once your body adapts, you're going to be going because you're not weighted down by food. Honestly, food, no matter how healthy it is, it weights you down. So I would say it would actually be even more beneficial if you have a physically active job to only eat once a day. Tips for unattractive guys: work out, take cold showers, get in good shape, and eat healthy, and you'll be attractive. I can't think of anybody that isn't attractive. I think all men and women are beautiful and attractive. It's just a matter of how healthy you are. Good sound health is attractive. And if you're putting junk food down your throat and you're not exercising, you're not getting sunlight, that's unattractive. But make this the new equation. Health equals attractiveness. Take care of your health and you're going to be attractive, whether you're a male or a female. Tips to eat enough when fasting if you don't already eat enough. My tip to you is to start to get your energy sources from other things other than food. Okay? Meaning get some sunlight, do some deep breathing work, pranayam, they call it in yoga pranayam, control of breath. Learn the Wim Hof method and integrate it into your life. Okay? Oxygenate your body on a regular basis, meditate, and go for walks and connect yourself to the earth, and you won't need to eat as much. Guys, we don't need to eat all that much. If you're already eating some food, see, with your mind, you're suspecting if I'm getting enough food or not. Chances are you are. Most of us, almost everybody watching here, you guys eat more than your body actually needs. In fact, the feeling of tiredness that you feel is from eating too much, because you're putting too much fuel into the car, and the car has to process that fuel. It takes energy to digest. It takes over 50% of your energy to digest food. Okay? So my gut feeling is you're already getting enough food as it is. Start looking for energy elsewhere. After my trip, I considered not doing drugs. As far as weed, Adderall, and LSD, probably a good idea, and I'm right there with you. I think probably I will be also drug free, whatever that word means. But I probably will stop taking psychedelics within the next year or two. It's a good idea to just be as you were created, as you are. And we use these drugs, we use these psychedelics, we microdose, we do all these things to help us be. Once we are, then it's good. Then you don't need these methods. See, LSD is a method. I use this method, okay? It's beautiful. I love it. But I recognize that at some point, I'm going to have to put it down. And it seems to me that that point is not too far into the future. Okay, so guys, if you're using any tool, weed, LSD, mushrooms, Adderall, MDMA, make sure you constantly remind yourself that this is a method, a tool that I'm eventually going to have to put down while I have it, while I'm using it. This is my teacher. The marijuana is your teacher. LSD is your teacher. The mushroom is your teacher. Even Adderall can be your teacher. I used to do Adderall back in school and it taught me quite a bit. But just to recognize that eventually we're going to have to put this down and listen to the teacher, okay? Everything speaks to you. All substances have spirits. They have a will of their own, and they will speak to you. And I can hear psychedelics for me now saying, look, maybe a year, 2 more years, we still got some things to teach you, some lessons. All right. stick with us for a little while, but they constantly remind me, hey, you can't depend on us for too long. You've got to go on your own. You've got to go on your own, and for all of us, we've got to go on our own. Okay. Ayman Saeed, hello, marhaba, ahla wa habibi. My brother, this is Gail. Make sure to read my messages on Skype. I will do, my man, as soon as the live stream is over. God bless you. It was a beautiful conversation with you. Don't you feel or doubt that a lot of these teachings are psyops, like misinformation for Agenda 21? For instance, not eating at all means less consumption of resources, which is what the elite want. The elite want us to consume. Guys, look, we can all be fully sustained energetically, no food, off the sun, off sun gazing, off grounding, walking on the earth. This is why we all wear shoes. Okay, the elite know. They know. They're called the Illuminati. They're illuminated. They're just playing on the dark side of the force. They're Darth Vader. The elites are Darth Vader. They're smart. They're intelligent. They're high in consciousness. They just make the choice to play in the dark side of the force. And I want to remind you to not be too stuck in the duality. See, all of us here, we're playing on Team Light. Okay? You cannot be playing on Team Dark if you're watching this right now. We're all playing on Team Light. But we've got to recognize the word playing, because we're playing. We're all teammates here. We're all light workers. Okay? You wouldn't be here if you're not a light worker. We're teammates here. We're spreading the light. But we're not spreading the light against an enemy. That's just, they're playing the role of the darkness. We're playing the role of the light. They're going to keep doing their thing. We're going to keep doing our thing. Okay? So for sure, without a doubt, all of us can be sustained energetically. You could take anybody that's eating McDonald's right now and is fat and overweight and diabetes, and probably within 5 years, under the right training, with the right teachings, with the right wisdom, they can be totally energetically sustained off the sun, off the earth, and I'm not talking about food, I'm talking about grounding, and at the most, you eat a couple of fruits a day if you need food. If you're low on energy, maybe it's not sunny for a while in your area, you haven't had any chance to be with the earth, with the elements, you're not doing breathing air, right? So, but other than that, honestly, like, there's a lot of shit, okay? There's a lot of shit that I'm just beginning to learn. Sometimes, like, honestly, before I started this live stream, and I called it what, live stream number 4, Q&A, the part of me is like, I'm not even qualified to answer questions. Like, I'm a totally new player in the game, okay? But I'm doing it anyway. Right? But that part of me is like, dude, you're still a new player here. You're still learning things, and I'm like mind boggled with the whole sun gazing thing right now, right? So yeah, definitely. Saeed, I have a problem. I'm 16 and I want to be a boxer like Floyd or Mike Tyson, but my mom won't let me box. She wants me to focus on school and college. It's making me sad. What should I do? Good question. I used to want to be a soccer player, and my parents got in the way of that. Big time. Now look, I resented my parents throughout my university years, but I recognized that wasn't my path. That it was meant for my parents to stray me off that path, because I'm clearly much more cut to do what I do now. So I don't know what to tell you here. It could work out in your favor if you don't become a boxer. It could be because you're meant to be a boxer. You're not meant to be a boxer. That could be it. Or you could have some kind of a romantic story here, where despite the odds and despite the parents and despite everything, I became the next Mike Tyson. So I'll leave that up to you. Any help towards over-analyzing thoughts, thinking with everything? I've tried microdosing psilocybin mushrooms and was amazing, but I'm currently out of reach with them and back at square one, depression. Depression is, and overthinking is an outgrowth of humanity's abandonment of nature. Let me explain. When you are in natural elements as they are, and your body is very much in tune with the elements, I don't care how much sleep, how little sleep, when did I sleep. Every morning at 7 a.m., I get a boner because my body has this biological clock in it that is in tune with nature. It doesn't matter how disconnected I am from nature. Could be in the middle of winter, I haven't seen the sun, I haven't even been outside. 7 a.m., I'm getting a boner because we're connected. When we get out of the elements as they are, we create these cities, and these cities are mind hives. They're mind hives, okay? Like, why do you think people get anxious in the streets? Why do you think big cities people are like mean and anxious and like just full of anxiety? It's a mind hive. It's like thoughts all over, and mind hives. And you look here, there is an advertisement. You look there is like 20 restaurants, and you look there is a plaza, there is a bunch of cars, there is this, there is that. It's very, very overwhelming. It's very overwhelming to the human nervous system. Okay? So the depression and the overthinking are all natural byproducts of humanity's outgrowth from its connection with the elements. So you'll start to hear me say this more and more and more. Get back to nature, okay? We've all got to get back to nature. I am leaving Canada because I can no longer sustain a life where 7-8 months of the year I'm mostly spending my time indoors. In fact, when I go to Thailand, for the first little while, I might not even get a place. I might just sleep on the beach. And even if I do get a place, I'm still probably most days gonna sleep on the beach. Okay? If we're connected to nature, there is no more overthinking and it's all beautiful. Okay? So I'm giving you the bigger picture here now. The smaller things, there's a lot of things you could do, on an individual level. Routine. Okay? Wake up at 6 a.m. Wake up at 6 a.m. I'm telling you, just set an alarm every day, wake up at 6 a.m. If you wake up with the elements, get some sunlight in the morning, and then after that, go take a cold shower. It's almost really impossible to feel depression if you do that every day. If you're up at 6 a.m. every day, you're getting some sunlight. If there's no sun or whatever, go for a little walk, 20-minute walk in the morning. Wake up with the elements. Take a cold shower. Where is the depression? Where is the overthinking? I'm not seeing it. If you actually do that every day, I'm just not seeing how that's possible. Okay? I'm not seeing how that's possible. Okay? So, how to prepare for a party. You recommended taking a long cold ass shower, but any more tips? Yeah, I did recommend taking cold showers, and that was a long time ago. I don't know which video you got that from. Probably meditate. You want to be in flow. When you're in a party, you don't want to try too hard, right? You don't want to try too hard when you're in a party. That's the worst thing. You go talk to a chick and you're trying too hard to impress her, or you're just trying to you go from one conversation to one because you want to talk neediness, right? You don't want to be needy. You want to be in flow. Somebody comes up to you, you say what up, you talk to them, and you're in flow. Now there are several ways to induce flow state. One of them is humming. So you could, on your way to the party, just hum for 20 minutes. And by the way, guys, that's what I do before making videos. That's what I did before this live stream. That's why I'm in a pretty good flow usually. My flow is on point when I make videos because I hum. Okay, I hum for 15 to 20 minutes. And even I start every live stream, I'm humming. Because I'm humming as I prepare this and as I put the camera and the tripod and everything, I'm humming. So when I start the video, I'm humming. When I start the live stream, I'm humming because I'm trying to get in flow, because I understand that this is one method of getting in flow. So on your way to the party, in the car, in the Uber, whatever, I could drive you there too, hum. And when you get to the party, be you, And then in between or whatever, or if you feel like you're drained out of energy, go into a little corner, maybe get a little outside and do some humming, and you'll get back in flow. Don't want to be rude, but what's in your income like? Do you make quite little as only few hours a day work? Is this part of your minimalistic lifestyle? Well, I don't have much expenses, okay? I do Uber for part-time to pay the bills, okay? Me and my brother, we share this house, we share this place, so we share the expenses. He also does his stuff, does some work, has some clients, personal training. So we share the expenses for the house, the expenses for everything, right? Doesn't matter if he's got expenses, if I got expenses. I'm minimalistic, and now with eating once a day and I'm eating very little, my food bill isn't all that much, right? And yeah, it's still quite a bit because we got a car. Expenses are quite a bit. That's why I'm moving to Thailand, because it's a lot cheaper. Okay. Saeed, should I go to school, to high school, school high? I have an edible and I want to see if it will give me enough confidence to talk to this girl. I don't know if edibles will give you confidence to talk to a girl, more likely to knock you out on a couch, but it depends on how much you eat, okay? So be careful with the dosage of an edible. Is going to the sauna daily a good idea? Probably. You detoxify, you get a lot of toxins out of your skin. Constantly worrying about death and nothing afterlife, 24/7. Though lots of worrying. Microdosing mushrooms made this go away, but I cannot make the thought go always without the use. Any help as well? You want to look at the microdose as a teacher. So when you microdose, reflect on the state of being. We get addicted to psychedelics and specifically microdosing because it's so beautiful. The state of being is what we're addicted to. It's not the chemical, by the way. It's the state of being. So what you want to do is you want to reflect on the state of being. Sit down and say, wow, I'm feeling in flow. I'm feeling good. And then start to examine it and analyze it. You'll come to realize, oh, I'm here, I'm present. Oh, I'm mindful, I'm aware of what's happening around me. And then by reflecting upon the state of being, you can begin to slowly program it into your mind-body complex, okay? So do some reflection, some contemplation. Awad Khalid, hello brother Saeed, you often recommend peanut butter, but in one of your videos some while ago you advised not to eat it anymore. I would not eat peanut butter, period now. Even the good type. I just wouldn't, even the natural stuff. Roasted destroys the enzymes in it. But the other thing about peanut butter, it's dry food. It's got no water in it. No water. And what I'm learning about foods as of late is you want to eat foods high in water content, mostly fruits and vegetables, to be honest with you, because most of us are massively dehydrated. So for many reasons, I don't even recommend peanut butter anymore, period. Do any other religions have rules against meditation like Catholicism? I don't know too much about Catholicism. I just know the Catholic Church was a big dark spot in the history of Europe in the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages. But Christianity itself, as far as I'm concerned, is just like any other religion. It contains the truth within it, and it depends on how you practice the truth and how you fit it into your life. But I think, for the most part, Catholics, they use the method of prayer more than meditation, which can be meditative in and of itself. Saeed brother, in one of your old podcasts, you said that Joe Rogan inspired you to take psychedelics. However, I get a really bad vibe from the guy, and it's proven that he's funded by Soros, an evil guy. Well, look, he's not. I don't think he's an evil guy. I don't watch his stuff anymore. I got inspired by him to do psychedelics. I don't watch his stuff anymore. I'm not into this stuff anymore. I took what I needed from Joe Rogan, and now I moved on where I get my knowledge and where I'm moving with my life. I don't think he's an evil guy. I really don't think so. I think he's a pretty nice guy for the most part. I think he's pretty, he's got good intentions, okay? But look, it's pretty simple. If you don't resonate with the guy anymore, just unsubscribe. I unsubscribed from his podcast. Just not for anything, but because I need to be focused on where my next stage of development. And so I'm sort of now down the breatharian, sun-gazing, pranic living rabbit holes, and I need to be focused there. So then anything else that doesn't serve it, I just let it go. So if you're not happy with the guy, just unsubscribe from his podcast. And if any of you guys are ever not happy with my content or you're done with it, unsubscribe. That's how you should be in life. You should, if you outgrow something, let it go and move on. Don't you feel skeptical about all these things? I feel like DMT lets you meet jinns and malicious intents that trick you. No, I am no longer a skeptic. I was a skeptic and it didn't get me anywhere. I'm no longer a skeptic. You have to enter the kingdom of heaven. You've got to be a surrendered child. You've got to be innocent. You've got to be naive. Okay, the road to heaven, the road to the kingdom of heaven, the road to the light, to God, to the spirit, to the Tao, is becoming naive. Okay, and letting go of your programmed skepticism. Okay, if you're a skeptical person, that's just your programming. It's just a software. It's a software, and science sort of promotes that software of skepticism, but it won't get you into the kingdom of heaven. If you're looking into the kingdom of heaven, if you're looking to be the light, skepticism ain't getting you anywhere. Okay, so open your mind, be humble, and bow down to wisdom. There is wisdom out there. Bow down to it. Be humble. If you're arrogant, the energy is not going to enter. The wisdom is not going to enter. The love is not going to enter. The light is not going to enter. You have to bow down to the light. This is why ancient Egyptians were sun worshippers. And this is why, as of late, I've become a sun worshipper myself. You bow down to the sun because the sun is the physical manifestation of God, one level down. Because God is light. That's not physical. But one level down, the physical is a manifestation of the spiritual. You have the sun. The sun is the God of the solar system. It is your God. It is my God. It is the God of every plant and everything. Okay? So you've got to be humble. You've got to bow down and let go of the skepticism. Or you can hang out there. That's cool. That's cool. But at some point, you're going to outgrow that skepticism, and then the kingdom of heaven says, "Come on in, baby." You've got Buddha on the right, you've got Jesus on the left, Lao Tzu somewhere in the back, and they all say, "Come on in, come on in, come on in." I feel drugs mess up my body. I feel like I'm messing up my image of when I was a little kid and happy. So much other bad shit. Psychedelics taught me I flow through other people too much as well. Good, well, good. You're learning from psychedelics, right? That's good. That they're teachers. They're teachers. Psychedelics are teachers. They're not the truth. Look, don't get hung up on the teacher. Listen to the teaching. Okay? Never get hung up on any teacher. It's the teaching you should be listening to. Okay? And psychedelics are a teacher. Don't get hung up on psychedelics. When I took psychedelics, I was preaching them like they were gonna save the world, because I was hung up on the teacher, but I wasn't paying close attention to the teaching. Get busy with the teaching. Don't idolize the teacher. Idolize the teaching and embody the teaching. I've been working out for like a year and a half and not so happy with the gains. I just wanted a shred look like you. Could you give me a few important points that would help me get there? Stimulate the muscle. Stimulate the muscle. Stimulate it. Breathe deep into it. When you exercise, it's about building muscle. Isn't about protein, by the way. It isn't about protein. I know this goes against everything you've ever learned. Protein's got nothing to do with it. I'm here to tell you it does, but you can get protein from the sun and from the air. Anyway, that's for a different conversation. Okay, I don't want to lay too much on you with this stuff here. I got a video coming up on that. But the foundation of building muscle is stimulating the muscle. You want to stimulate it. So if you're doing push-ups, you become the chest and you do the push-ups. Okay, you focus, you close your eyes. I usually close my eyes when I exercise. You close your eyes, you become the muscle that you're trying to stimulate, and you stimulate it. You go to failure. Okay? And then you'll build muscle. Other than that, get enough rest and you'll be all right. Saeed, how you fix colon pain? Please, why it happens? Okay, very good question. Guys, listen up. Our friend here, Elevating Consciousness 777, is asking, how do you fix colon pain? Why it happens? All of us have an incredible amount of toxins in our bodies because we grew up in a very sick society. We've been vaccinated. We've been under the constant attacks of antibiotics. I must have taken antibiotics at least 10 times in my life. Okay? I'm sure many of you guys, same thing. Antibiotics, vaccinations, junk food. We're like our colon. By the way, your colon can hold up to 10 pounds of waste. 10 pounds of waste. So, the journey is the journey of detoxification, the journey of healing. This is why I eat, you know what I eat now? You know what my diet is? Once a day, 2 melons and an apple, or 2 apples. That's it. First of all, you've got to eat less, and you've got to make it a foundation in your life because your colon is already so backed up with so much shit. And that's gonna allow, your body's always detoxing. That's gonna allow your body a little bit of time to do its thing. You wanna take in high water content foods because right now, all this stuff in the colon is stuck to your walls and it's just been hanging around there for God knows how long. It's nasty, nasty. Ever since I started eating only fruits, I've gotten some nasty stuff out of my asshole. I'll tell you that. Nasty, smelly, disgusting. Okay, old stuff that's been hanging around there. So you want to get some high water content foods, that would be fruits mostly, to break up all this garbage in your colon, in your bowels, okay? And you want to eat less. You want to incorporate some fasting, and you want to just have a relationship with food where you're eating once, maybe twice a day, and it's just enough not to feel like you're bloated, you're full. That's programming. You're gonna have to work with your programming and slowly, like I've been programming myself to eat only once a day, and now like I barely eat. I really barely eat. It's been coming. It's been programmed now for 4 years. I started doing intermittent fasting 4 years ago. 16 hours of eating, 8 hours of not eating. It doesn't happen overnight, guys, okay? You've got to work with your mind-body complex. You've got to work with the programming. And you've got to see where you're at, and you've got to see where you want to be. So ultimately, to give you the ultimate solution for colon is, you're not supposed to eat all that much to begin with. Okay? And there's a lot of shit stuck in there and it needs cleaning. And the detoxing doesn't happen overnight. It may even take years to fully cleanse your body, depending on the intensity of your pursuit. If you go and fast for a week, 7 days, you might be able to solve most of your problems in your colon and stuff. But if that's not your thing, then you sort of eat less, a lot of high water content foods, that would be fruits mostly, okay, to break up the rigidity in your bowels, then you should be okay. And remember, it's a process. Yo, Saeed, I woke up to reality yesterday. It was the scariest shit ever. Yeah, I can't think of anything more awful and terrifying and beautiful. Sultan, I can think about marijuana and I feel like I smoked some. Never had the experience until lately. Are you familiar with Manly P. Hall and the books he wrote? I'm familiar with Manly P. Hall. I listened to some of his lectures on YouTube, but I haven't read any of his books. Saeed, my brother, finally caught you live. Oh, this guy. Screw Canada, take me with you, brother. Yes. All of you guys should come to Thailand. Okay? When I go to Thailand, I'm going to promote the hell out of it. I'm gonna get you one at a time to come to Thailand. Cities are circuit boards to siphon our energy. Google pictures of it. I know. Trust me. I've been aware of this ever since I started doing psychedelics, and that's why I'm getting my ass to an island. To me, I want a permanent solution. I don't want to like mask it, get blue light, whatever, do this. I want a permanent solution, which is to go back to nature. So I am moving my ass to an island. Young Hero, did you get my email regarding Thailand? Yes, and I'm so sorry I haven't had time to get back to you, but I promise you either today or tomorrow you'll hear from me. Saeed, how do you keep motivated? I struggle to stay motivated for my studies. Tough Tough question. I don't want to give you a band-aid solution here because I could tell you, well, do this and take a cold shower. All right, we are back. We are back. So let's go back. All right, where are we right now? Let's go back here. Back. I want to answer all of you guys. Oof, we've got a lot. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. Do you not respect Canada if that country that took you is that country that took you? No. I am leaving this country with a lot of gratitude. With a lot of gratitude, believe me. I've been here 14 years. It's just an end of a chapter. It's not personal. It is what it is. It's an end of a chapter, right? And I mean, I've got a lot of love for the Canadian forests. That's where I found God. That's where I found the light. Okay? So I got a lot of love for the land. A lot of love. Okay? And the people are friendly and polite, and I made a lot of friends here. You know, it's been a blast. It's been a beautiful experience. If you have noticed, I've never for a second bashed Canada, really. Like I always say, I always talk shit about the weather. So it may seem like I'm bashing it, but I'm actually quite fond of Canada. I'm quite fond of it, and I'm Canadian. I've got the passport. I've been here 14 years, and yeah, I've got freedom of speech here. You know, that's that. We take that for granted, right? How many countries can you just like say whatever? You know, I got a lot of love for it. It's just the end of a chapter. That's all. It's an end of a chapter. Any tips to meet like-minded spiritual people? I feel like it's impossible to find and connect with people nowadays. All of my friends, childhood friend, but they're completely lost in the matrix. You'll find them soon enough, okay? Just keep doing your thing, you'll find people, okay? You'll just start to randomly run into them. So relax on that and just keep doing your spiritual work, and you'll eventually run into physical people. But right now, keep surrounding yourself with YouTube, okay? I mean, that's what I do. You know, with the whole rant about becoming a breatharian and living off the sun, I've been non-stop listening to people who are already doing that. So I'm brainwashing myself. So it almost feels like I'm hanging around with them now. It almost feels like I have friends who are breatharian. And when you see somebody else do this, you already feel like you have friends. And then sooner or later, you start to meet people in person, okay? Maybe I move to Thailand with you. You guys should all come hang around in Thailand. Ko Panyan. I think that's not the correct pronunciation. Said, why don't you enable super chats on your live set? I know you told me about that. I don't know how to do it, so I guess we'll just do it next live chat. But I'll remember to do it next live chat. How do you know when to bring acceptance to something versus when to actively change something? Oh, that's an excellent question. You accept things and then you listen to the Tao. What do I mean by that? You've got to accept things as they are. You've got to see the perfection in everything. You've got to see the beauty in everything. You've got to see everything and everyone as perfect. Even evil, even Illuminati and elites and disease and death and hunger. You've got to see the perfection in everything. Now, there's something paradoxical that happens once you accept things as they are, is you have this innate, spontaneous urge in you to take action, to change something. And you want to listen to that spontaneous calling that is within you. But in my experience, that spontaneous call to change something is only truly genuine and spontaneous if you're living in a state of acceptance. But if you're trying to change something from a place of frustration, you're only creating the polar opposite of it. Meaning, if I am trying to change if I am like a militant vegan and I'm trying to stop the killing of animals, and I want to change that from a place of anger and frustration for the killings of the animals, then I'm only creating the same thing that I'm trying to get rid of, which is more hate, more resentment. I'm putting out the same vibration. So Versus, if you accept things as they are, okay, animals are getting killed, everybody dies, life is suffering. That's why the Four Noble Truths of the Buddha are one of the most important things you'll ever learn and integrate. Okay, you accept life as suffering, you accept that there is death. Okay, animals are getting killed, but so is everybody else. And you accept all of this. You accept life as is. You accept everybody as they are. And then from that point, inevitably, you're going to have the spontaneous feeling in you to want to change something, to want to change. And then when you actually want to stop the killings of the animals, you know what you would do from a spontaneous place? You would just stop it yourself, and you would be just beaming with so much light. And that sort of compassion that you have, because you're changing yourself, what you can do is to change yourself, will pull other people towards you, and now you're putting out a higher vibration. Okay, so you accept things as they are, and then you listen for the spontaneous call within you to change them. A few months ago, I was laying in my bed and I wasn't asleep. Suddenly, I got out of my body and found myself next to my body in the same room. No feelings, no thinking, no memory, just there. The thing is, at that time, I had no idea what you can get out of your body. Yeah, that happens. Spontaneous out of body travel. It used to happen to me a lot when I was a kid. A lot. I remember the first house that I remember when I was like maybe between 3 and 6 before we moved. There's a lot of nasty ghosts there. And they used to wake me up at night. I used to go to we had a big hall. I used to go stand there and I used to see their shadows on the wall. And I used to have all kinds of spontaneous out-of-body travel and experiences when I was a kid. So yeah, that happens. That happens. Okay, Catholicism has something called contemplation, which is essentially meditation. Yeah. Richard Rohr is a really cool priest to check out. He's essentially pushing meditation in the Catholic Church. Yeah, Catholic Church is fine. Islam is fine. It's all fine. They just need some refinement. That's all. That's all. Personal question, when did you lose your virginity? When I was 18. Do you think it's true that we can manifest whatever we want, or do you think that the universe may deny a want that we have for our own good? Okay, let me read that again. Do you think it's true that we can manifest whatever we want, or do you think that the universe may deny a want that we have for our own good and deliver what we need instead? Probably the second one. Probably the second one, right? There's always a higher agenda, the common good. The common good of you, the common good of others. Okay, there's always, like, I'll give you a small example. I remember this one time I really wanted to catch a bus, but I missed it. I ran to it, I missed it. I was like, damn, now I gotta wait 20 minutes for the next bus. Well, so I waited 20 minutes, things aren't going my way. I didn't manifest everything being perfect and my convenience. Then I took the next bus and I got off the bus and I crossed the street, and there were a Syrian family that were completely lost and confused. And I started to play with their little daughter. And as it turns out, like, they needed some help. They were completely lost. I mean, they're a refugee family. And I helped them. I did what they needed to do. I gave them help. We did made some calls. They needed something to help with their cell phone, etc. And that was that. Now, from my ego's perspective, I missed a bus. I'm 20 minutes. My convenience has been disturbed. Okay? But from the perspective of the common good, no, that needed to happen so I could help that Syrian family. Because had I taken that bus before, I probably would have missed them, would have crossed the street, they wouldn't have been there, and then they would have still been confused or lost. Okay, so I'm just giving you a small example here that you always got to look at the bigger picture. Okay, well, because if you're gonna go around thinking everything's gonna happen your way, yeah, you're screwed, man. You're screwed. Look into the Four Noble Truths, okay? Because you're screwed. how do you change your self-image in an authentic way like you did? Process takes years, lots of visualization, lots of affirmations, and then eventually you've just got to be. If Saeed disappears, I'm going to assume the government got him for sharing all the secrets. You know what, Rasaja? I don't think so, because there's a lot of other people now that are sharing this. There's a lot of people that are sharing this, and you know, the moon, you know, three things you can't hide: the moon, the sun, and the truth. Okay? And honestly, the more you grow into this work, the less you give a shit if you die. Okay? And if you don't give a shit that you die, then what are they gonna do to you? What is the government? They're gonna take you, lock you up for 20, 30 years, so what? It's just one round, it's one incarnation. You know, it's not a big deal. Really, it isn't a big deal. But I think in this time that we're living in, it's become very difficult now to hide the truth. It's become very difficult, right? So, but it's still, it's a good assumption, Rasaja. Do you maybe know what is depersonalization? I just made a video on it. Check it out. It's called, just recently, last week, LSD trip scared me away. Very happy with your answers to making gains. Just one more thing. I'm struggling with a lower belly fat. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Friends, what's going on, my brother? African 2102. How much money are you bringing with you, personal? But I'm curious. Probably $700. You know, for just to blast me for the first month. I need about $700, right? So $700 should be good. It should cover most of my expenses in Thailand, all of them. I really don't see, especially now with me trying to transition into becoming a sun gazer and being fueled off the sun. Maybe my expenses will be less. 700. You want first month rent, some money to eat, and then God will take care of you. You know, I mean, you guys are helping me with Patreon now. Like we're at like $100 a month. Like that's amazing. You know, I want to thank all our Patreons here. Mwah! Like kisses for you guys. It's amazing. Okay, so you figure out a way. God will help you in one way or another, but you just make the decision and you go with it. Okay, like I'm prepared that if I don't have enough money, I'm prepared to just kind of hang around on the beach, sleep on the beach. I'm prepared for that possibility, because I'll tell you what, all I'm gonna have when I go to Thailand is gonna be a backpack. That's gonna be my life in there. It's gonna be a laptop. It's gonna be my phone. It's gonna be probably even a smaller tripod. A few things to wear, like, you know, shorts. I'll probably be shirtless pretty much all the time. You know, you just make the decision and you go along with it, and God will help you. You know, God will help you one way or another. What's the main reason you're moving to Thailand? Number one, sunlight. We're tropical. And I think we started to get into a lot of trouble when we left the tropics. We are tropical. We can be powered by the sun. We can be sustained by the sun. We don't even need food if we connect with the sun. That's how powerful it is. Sunlight. I said in a previous live stream, if you guys knew the importance of sunlight, you would restructure your entire life around it. Literally, you would restructure your entire life if you actually, like, if it hits your third eye, you're like, wow, the sun is God. The sun is God. There's no other way around it. It's God manifested one level lower. God is light. God is formless. God is light. The clear white light. Every religion talks about the clear white light. Manifested down a level into the physical gross level, you got the sunlight. That's God. Now, wouldn't you want to restructure your life around God? So that's pretty much the only reason I need to move to Thailand, okay? But it's also very cheap to eat food, to rent, to live, and you're living on an island, or you're living in Chiang Mai in the jungles. I mean, it's beautiful. And the people there, they call it the land of smiles. Land of smiles, right? So, you know, it's very safe too. Very safe. So it seems like a pretty obvious thing. Really, like, it honestly, guys, I'm telling you, it's kind of pretty obvious. If you don't have any obligations, you don't have a family you're obligated to or whatever, it's pretty obvious. What are you doing? Get your ass to Thailand or something. Gonna donate to you Patreon when I get home. Thank you very much. Mwah, all the love. You deserve way more recognition, but I'm sure you know how the game goes with the masses in control. Yes. Thank you for following your purpose and sharing with us. God bless you. Thank you very much. Saeed, I love you. Do you like my comments? I love your comments, Jack. I love you. I love you and I love your comments. I just want to say thank you, Saeed. I can tell this is your passion, but it's great you want to give all the information to others. A selfless act. Well, a selfless act is just, it's not, if I thought of myself as selfless and I said, I'm doing this for other people, that's selfish because that's my ego trying to take one up. Like, look at Saeed. He does things selflessly and look at this and that. They only care about themselves. A selfless act is just being. It's just empty. Like I'm empty when I make these videos. I empty my mind. I empty my mind, and that's it. It's being. Selflessness is just being. It's not. If you think you're selfless, you're selfish. That's the paradox. If you think you're selfless, you're selfish. Okay? And if you think you're selfish, you're also selfish. If you think you're selfish, period. That's your ego. That's your individual identity. It's okay. It's a tool we play with, right? But selflessness is just being. That's what selflessness is, because a selfless act is like when you see a top athlete and they're in their zone, they're as selfless as they can be. They're in the flow of things. Okay, you understand? So, but I thank you very much. I appreciate your beautiful perception. Okay, beautiful perception of what's going on here. I tried meditative breathing and meditation, and after though it was 5 minutes, but it was 1 hour. Wow, that's crazy. Wow. So you've done meditative breathing. That happened to my friend. Basically, a friend over here, Scott, he's saying that he did some breathing meditation. He thought it was 5 minutes, and it turns out he's been doing it for 1 hour, 27 minutes. That happens. You start to go into timelessness. Guys. All the energy we need is available to us. Meditation, pranayam, breath work, sunlight. I'm gonna keep talking about this. I can't not talk about this now, okay? Like, once you see it, once it hits your third eye, you can't unsee it. Michael Webster, hi from UK. What's going on, my brother? I think I gotta get to UK at some point. There's a lot of you guys from the UK here. After Party Productions, how are you, my friend? I am coming to see you in May, okay? I want to come hang around in Hamilton for a little bit, Dundas, get to that nature place, and I'm going to see you for a little bit, brother. So, respect. Here's a kiss for you. Random question, but what do you do in your free time? Do you play anything? I'm mostly, honestly, most of my free time is spent learning the Dharma. Learning the way of things. That's, I'm obsessed with this stuff. Like, I don't get much sleep anymore because I'm always stimulated here. My third eye is always stimulated, and yeah, I pretty much I'm pretty much learning. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I once you see it and you feel it and you begin to experience it, it's crazy. Saeed Mubaid, I saw your comment on Elliot Hall's video. Yeah, I used to leave a lot of comments there in the early stages of the channel because I wanted to get people to check out my channel. And I used to get a lot of people coming from there. Do you play any sports or video games? I do calisthenics and some resistance training, right? I work out every day, yeah. But video games, not my thing anymore. Used to be. Angie, how to find our life purpose? Okay, that's a good question. There's a few things you can do. You can go back to your childhood, specifically between ages 2 and 6, and see what it is that you enjoyed doing. You could talk to your mom about that and ask her, what did I enjoy doing when I was between 2 and 6? But I got a feeling you remember. Everybody remembers. For me, between ages 2 and 7, I enjoyed 2 things. I enjoyed exercise. I was incredibly fast and hyperactive. The only way when I was a kid I would learn, like when my mom was teaching me something from school, I would be jumping up and down as I'm learning, and I still do that, by the way. If I'm learning something, I'm walking around. I don't read books anymore. I listen to audiobooks or podcasts and I walk around. So then I have the fitness channel because that turns out it's sort of the health integrated into my purpose. The other thing I did a lot of when I was a kid is ask very dangerous questions like who created God and philosophical things, right? So, my life purpose was there because kids are pure, they act on their purity. So maybe look into that. See, that could give you a guidance, a compass to where your life purpose may be. Okay? So that's one thing. The other thing is you start to reflect on what your life purpose is, and you do it consistently and persistently. You get a journal and call it. Okay, as I was saying, get a journal, call it the life purpose journal. Okay, and every day, bit by bit, like you would build a house, brick by brick, brick by brick, brick by brick, little by bit, page by page, word by word, reflect on what your life purpose is, and you'll find it. You'll find it because writing is very meditative and it's very relaxing and it's very revealing. It'll reveal to you deep insights about your place in the world. Okay, so yeah, try these two things, and as you reflect on your childhood, things you enjoyed doing when you were a child. Okay, let's go back here. How do you know you're on the right path? Everything just falls in place perfectly. Everything is just perfect. Like you walk into your apartment building and the elevator opens up. You look at the clock and it's 3:33. It's 11:11, and everything just, you get this oozy, smoothie, dancey feeling to life. Like like it's just, that's how you know. Do you think you can make a choice not to reincarnate on this planet? Like, don't go towards the light. If you're a conscious being, probably, yeah. Very very highly skilled yogis, they just leave their body, they drop their body whenever they want. Like Sadhguru's wife, Vivekananda, endless stories of yogis just leaving their bodies, announcing it, having their disciples come around them and say the goodbye party or whatever. Probably at that high level of awareness and being conscious, I think you're able to do anything pretty much. I think you're able to go into the light and come back into form. You're able to go into other realms if you want, the realms of the gods, or you might want to visit hell for a little while. Like the Buddha visited all these planes, right, in his meditation, in his samadhi. When he reached the state, he was able to go through every level. He was able to go through hell. He was able to go through the ghosts, the hungry ghost realm. He was able to go through the demon realm. He was able to go through animal realm, everything. So I think the more you expand your awareness, the more you could do it now. Like literally, like the Buddha did. You could go into all these realms and visit them now if you want to. Okay, so I definitely think it's possible. Last stream, you advised me to discover my psychic abilities. How can I do that? Good question. Why am I inclined to say psychedelics? I don't know why. Psychedelics is a good tool to do that. If you're going to take psychedelics and say you're going to teach me how to discover my psychic abilities, like I'm microdosing, right? I'm still taking LSD. And I talked to LSD yesterday and I said, LSD, you're going to help me now get off food and become solar powered, become powered from the sun. So now I have a relationship with LSD. Okay, LSD, although it's man-made, it still is from a fungus and it still has a consciousness. Like Ram Dass's teacher told him, LSD is material form, God in material form showing up in a material country. So hear me out. You develop a relationship with a psychedelic and you talk to it. I talked to LSD. I meditated. I had the LSD beside me and I talked to it. I kissed it. I put it in my heart and I said, look, you're going to help me now become totally powered by the sun. You're going to help me get off food for my source of fuel, and you're going to help me in the next 2-3 years to become a fully solar powered human being. And yeah, if you develop that kind of relationship with a psychedelic and you use it for that purpose, and if you talk to the psychedelic, you say, look, I love you, I thank you, you're my teacher, can you now help me unlock my psychic abilities? Whole different ball game. Okay, so I don't know why I had the inclination to say psychedelics. Maybe because if spirit is indeed speaking through me, maybe that's your message. I don't know. By the way, I don't usually recommend. If you've been watching my live streams, I'm a bit cautioning people about psychedelics, and saying don't use it for crush. But for whatever reason, for you, that's the answer that came through here. Do you know how to speed up hair growth? No idea. Where will you be taking cold showers? That's a very good question. I probably won't need to take cold showers because I'll be swimming in the beach all the time. And now it won't be as cold, but I think the oceans will probably give me the coolness that I need to do this. Other than that, I'll probably just continue to do the Wim Hof breathing, and I'll be too busy with the sun. Okay, I'll be too busy getting my energy from the sun. So probably it will be the phase of my life now where there's no more cold showers, right? Where I gotta say goodbye, because cold showers have served me here. They've given me so much energy and vitality in a country that is basically winter for 7-8 months of the year, and you don't get much sun, and the vitality is very low. Cold showers were exactly the right medicine here, but I probably will just let go of them at that point. You do the OMAD diet. I'm curious how many calories you consume. You won't believe it, my friend. Right now, I'm consuming about 500-600 calories a day. And I've been consuming 1,000 calories now for a good 3 weeks. And I'm fine. And in fact, I have a video coming up on it. Like, I still got muscles. I'm still pretty ripped. So you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised as you begin to alter and reprogram your relationship with food, how little food you need. How little food you need. Okay, and it seems the less I eat, the more vital I am. And more flow, more energy. It's really crazy. I have a question for you. How much do you miss your old pal James from Hamilton? I miss him quite a bit. Quite a bit. Ruben Guerrero, hello from Mexico. Hello, amigo. I love the Mexican people. I love the Mexican people. When I came to Canada, I hang around Mexicans all the time. They were also exchange students. I didn't speak English. They didn't speak English. It was perfect. We got along just fine. Will you still microdose when you move to Thailand? To be caught with drugs in that country, it won't be very fun. I heard that mushrooms there are practically legal, even though they're technically not, but practically are. So I probably will still be doing it, just because the island that I'm going to also has a very hippie vibe to it. So I think probably a lot of people there do mushrooms. So do you think people with depersonalization are naturally enlightened? Depersonalization is defined as feeling detached from the body, but there's nobody there to be detached from the body. It definitely is a form of enlightenment. It like people who feel it are definitely vibrating at a high level. There's no question about it. But to go all the way through is to be living in the paradox of being a human being, not being a human being. That's a truly enlightened being. A truly enlightened being is someone who's both a human being and a not human being. But definitely, people who experience depersonalization are vibrating at a higher level. So much so that they're completely detached from their body. But to go all the way in the game, you've got to be able to live here and there and there and here. Okay, so I was checking it out right now, the depersonalization LSD video, but the thing is, I got my depersonalization from stress and trauma. I have it for a year now, so if you have any advice, it would be awesome, bro. Yeah, I think you should release the trauma. I think you should do some screaming therapy, some crying therapy, and release emotions from you. I really think if you're traumatized and depressed, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of tears that are holding you up, probably in your face area and in your stomach area. I recommend that you get some safe space and you completely go berserk. You instigate emotions out of yourself and see where that takes you. Okay, I think you should work with your emotional body right now. You should release the emotions, because right now your cup is full of shit. Now, hear me out here. Full of shit meaning negativity, meaning trauma, meaning stress, right? Now, look, if you give me a cup full of shit right now, and I have some beautiful sun-charged water with some lemon in it. And your cup is full, right? And I try to put it in, but it can't go in. It's full, it's full, it's full, okay? It's just not gonna go in. Now, if you empty the cup, clean it up, then you can fill it up with good thoughts, with things that bring you closer to the light. So right now you've got some emptying to do. Because as it turns out, the journey of the soul isn't the journey of learning, isn't the journey of gaining, isn't the journey of doing something. It is the journey of unlearning and reducing. You know, I've been quoting this beautiful line from the Tao Te Ching to become learned, gain daily, to obtain Tao, reduce daily, reduce and reduce and reduce until all action is reduced to non-action. And I've been applying all of this into my life right now. This is why I barely eat. I'm transitioning to become solar powered because I'm now understanding that actually, hold on, you've just got to keep reducing, 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 emptying, emptying, emptying. My best videos, my best everything that I make, my work, you know, objectively speaking, looking at my work, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. The videos I make are solid videos. You know, this live stream is a solid live stream. Why? Well, I tell you why. Because I empty my mind before I go into here. I'm not coming here, or when I make videos, I don't script any of the videos because I empty. I empty. Same thing with you. Empty yourself from traumas. Empty yourself from all the things that are stuck in your emotional body. And then with that release, you'll be able to receive the light. Okay? It was my first time doing proper meditation. I just stopped thinking about time. That's how powerful meditation is. That's how powerful it is. What if someone has some sort of disease or injury where they can't utilize proper breathing techniques? How do they engage in these techniques? Well, if I wanted to answer your question, I would have to know more about the nature of the injury, right? Hi, Saeed from Mexico. No questions for now. God bless Mexico. I love the amigos and the amigas. Have you read Aleister Crowley's 8 Lectures of Yoga? I'm familiar with Crowley. I'm familiar with all his magic and stuff. I know he was very controversial. But I've actually downloaded one of his books, but I never read it. I think I might still have the book on PDF on my phone. I never read it, but I'm definitely familiar with Crowley. And I heard a story about him that he was so much into magic that one time he was walking in the street and he was with a friend and he's told his friend, look at that guy over there, he's gonna fall now. And then Aleister Crowley basically fell. Aleister Crowley, and then that guy who he's basically into his body now also fell. Okay, so I've heard some crazy things about Crowley. Have thoughts on moving to Australia with everything going on in the US. I live in Canada, so we're okay here in Canada. It's fine. I definitely have thoughts about visiting Australia, and I probably will be because I'll be living in Thailand, and Australia is right there, right? Let silence take you to the core of life. Rumi, absolutely. Nicholas, if you ever tried it, have you ever considered discussing the effects of ketamine? It's a very unique space that doesn't really compare to any other substance I heard about. I've never tried ketamine. I've never tried ketamine. Successful people do what they need to do, whether they feel like it or not. That is true from one level, and I'll keep it at that. If you could summarize some key points, what do you think are the most important things being hidden, given what we are taught about the history of the world? So that's a very good question. What are some of the things that are hidden? I ultimately, there's a lot of things that are hidden, a lot of things. Ultimately, I think the biggest thing that is hidden is the biggest conspiracy is against the health of the human organism. I think that's the biggest problem, because if human beings are healthy, you can't fool them. They're already vibrating at a high level. They're closer to the light. And if human beings are healthy and they're closer to the light, they're vibrating in higher frequencies, you can't fool them, because the truth vibrates at those levels. So I think ultimately, because if you are vibrating high, you can go back into the past, you can go back into the future, you can visit the Akashic records, you could pretty much see everything. Okay, so what it is the knowledge that is hidden is the knowledge that has to do with the human health and human vitality. Human health and human vitality. Because this is the temple for the soul, and if it's really, really dirty, the soul ain't gonna pray. The soul is too busy suffering. But if the temple is really nice and clean and healthy, then the soul can dance and do its thing, and it can see the truth. The soul can go into the past, into the future, it can do whatever. It can see things as they are. So I think it's things related to human health. All the chemicals that are in the water, that are in the food, I really think that's the biggest thing. I really think I'm going to be focusing more on human health moving forward, because I just think if human beings are healthy, you can't fool them. You can't fool them. How do you meditate? There's a lot of different ways. I love humming. For whatever reason, I just love humming. You want to do a meditation you enjoy. If you don't enjoy the meditation, don't do it. If you do Vipassana meditation where you sit down and focus on your breathing and that doesn't float your boat, stop immediately. You want to do a meditation that you enjoy so you can do it longer and you can get the benefits from it. So I like humming. I can hum for 30, 45, even an hour. Humming. I enjoy it. It's very, very relaxing for me. So I meditate with humming. And I change it up. Sometimes I do Vipassana. I sit down and just focus on my breath. So you want to do something you enjoy. Okay? And if you're going to sit, make sure your posture is straight. Okay? That's pretty important as well. Rasaja, is it better for women to not be on birth control and to be in tune with their cycle? If so, at 3 different things we should be doing to meditate during different stages of our cycle. I think birth control is messing up with a woman's cycle and hormones. A woman's cycle is supposed to be in sync with the moon. Okay? As a woman, you're lunar. You're supposed to be in sync with the moon. That's your cycle should be running for 28 days and it should be in sync with the moon. And you should be bleeding either towards the full moon or towards the beginning of the moon cycle when it's a crescent. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, I think birth control is another one of those. Now that builds up on the previous question, which is what are the biggest things that are hidden? Anything related to human health. Okay, anything related to human health and birth control, it is destroying women. It is just, a woman is already a chaotic entity as she is. A woman is like the earth. The earth is feminine. The sun is, they call it the father in the sky. The sun is a masculine, it's a masculine presence. The earth is a feminine presence. And if you want to know yourself as a woman, just observe the earth. That's you. And the earth is like changing its mind every 2 seconds. No, not even. Every 1/4 of a second. And things are changing. And so women are closer to that. Women are feminine. Earth is feminine. So you're already chaotic as is. Now you add this thing, this birth control, that's going to already mess up with a very delicate and sensitive instrument, hormonal system, endocrine system of a female. That's going to cause a lot of trouble. So I ultimately think you probably want to get off of that as soon as you can. Now to answer the second part of your question, if so, 3 different things we should be doing to meditate during different stages of our cycle. Honestly, I'm not too familiar with the different cycles per se. I know there are certain cycles, you're feeling hornier, you're attracted to more alpha type, strong males, other certain periods where you're attracted to more nurturing, you want more nurturing, more care, you're more, more introverted, more inwards, right? So probably you want to be in tune with that. You want to be in tune with where you are in your cycle. Are you feeling this sense of extroversion? Are you feeling this sense of introversion? If you're feeling this sense of extroversion, then I don't know. I don't know what kind of meditation that would be for that. I think, maybe just if you're in an introverted, nurturing, caring phase of your cycle. I would say stargazing. I would say go out and stargaze and moon gaze. Okay, in that sensitive, delicate period of your cycle, go out and look at the moon. You're lunar. Females are lunar. Go do some sun gazing, some stargazing, and some moon gazing, and that'll bring you a lot of relaxation. As a woman, you should really be in tune with the moon. You should really be in tune with the stars. Okay, so maybe that'll point you towards something. Maybe you'll get something out of that. Saeed, please say this for the chat. Lagoons, lentils, chickpeas. Are you using a travel visa when you leave? No, I'm just going to be renewing my visa there. You could just hop into a different country every 3 months and come back in. And you could do this indefinitely. I don't have access to psychedelics. I guess doing Wim Hof breathing intensely will do the job. Yeah. Robert, bro, thanks so much. All you said is true. Since my trauma and stress was on the emotional side, I know now why I can't feel any emotions towards my girlfriend friends. Yeah. And you're right about the face tension. My jaw is so clenched a lot of the times I barely notice it. Yeah. There's a lot of tears here. They're gonna block you. My dream is to travel in warm countries, but I don't dare doing that because of my IBS with diarrhea. I truly hate my life. I have tried different diets with no improvement. And you're not going to see any improvements, my friend, because all these fad diets for IBS are just trying to treat the symptoms, okay? So just keep an eye for my upcoming videos, because I've been really like hiding into the health rabbit holes lately, and I've got a lot to say about the matter. So just keep an eye for my future videos, okay? As far as health and gut health and food and all of that, just keep an eye for that. When I fasted for about a day once, I realized that I felt a kind of natural high, which was quite nice. I'll try a little longer next time, just don't want to pass out. Yeah, you've got to go little bit by little bit. You're a program, you're a mind-body complex, and the way this works is it works a little bit at a time, Saeed, please give me advice for having to work 9 to 5. If you enjoy your work from 9 to 5, that is not a problem at all. 9 to 5 could be the best thing that happened into your life. So the 9 to 5 is not the issue here. The issue here is, do you enjoy your work or do you not? And if you don't enjoy it, get the hell out. You still think life is a dream? Absolutely. Like, what else? Of course. Do you eat meat? Not anymore. This is a recent change. If everything has a beginning, middle, and end, is it just an experience story? Is it just an experience story? The absolute is unchanging, so everything must just be an illusionary experience, absolute experience, infinite stories. Now you're speaking my language. All of our lives and plots, there's storylines. There's the Saeed storyline, there's the King Cola storyline, and there's, it's storylines, of course. It's the illusion is the transient nature of things. When we say everything is an illusion, we're saying everything's changing. And if everything's changing, it is an illusion. Like I talked about this before, but the wall behind me, that's an illusion that it's a wall. It's changing. I'm not able to perceive it now. That is changing because I think it's solid, but it's changing. It's in a state of change, making it an illusion. Making everything an illusion. Anything that changes is an illusion. It's an illusion, right? Like in 100 years, 200 years, if I keep doing my breatharian thing, maybe I'll live up to 200. My physical body will cease to exist. And in 1,000 years or so, the storyline Saeed will be completely forgotten. I don't care how famous I get, it doesn't matter. I don't care if these videos are it's gonna be forgotten. 10,000 years from now, it's gonna be forgotten. The whole Saeed thing will be a complete memory in the system, but it'll still be a memory. Okay, it'll still be a memory, so you could still access it. At those high levels, people can read the Akashic records. They can go at any point in the game because the game is already written. Okay, it's like a movie that's already been produced. So it is an illusion. Yeah, of course it is an illusion, but it is relatively real, and the whole point of the illusion is to appear to be real. So to constantly deny its realness is to not play it as you intended it to. You intended it to create an illusion that seems real. And part of the fun of the illusion is that it seems real, that it's relatively real. So we say life is an illusion, but let's pretend it's real. It's called controlled folly, right? You make believe like everything you do matters, but it doesn't, because it's all like predetermined manifestation and it's already a finished product, but you just, because you understand that you've created the movie called existence, all of it, the whole amusement park, by the way, not just physical existence, but all of them realms. You created it, you wanted to experience yourself in all these different manifestations, and you wanted to for these things to appear to be real. Okay, so we delight in the appearance of things being real without really being too deceived by the illusion, if that makes any sense. Are you traveling with a work visa or any sort of visa? No. I just need, it's very simple actually. Once I get there, I just have to go every 3 months out of the country and come back in. It's very simple. This is a thing. People do this all the time. There's so many digital nomads that are hanging around in Thailand. So it's very easy actually. The methodology is incredibly easy to go and live in Thailand if you wanted to. Can meditation help with anxiety? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, absolutely. Can you help create an army to take down the red pill movement? I'm just kidding, but it's extremely toxic and aims to keep men in duality. I agree with you, 100%. It keeps men in duality, it keeps the struggle. I'm not too concerned with it. I am now, focus on you, really. Just, that's the best thing you could do. I could be preoccupied with, the red pill movement making men stuck in duality and creating the same problem. Or, I could be working on my sun gazing. By the way, I'm already on day 2 today. I could be working on my sun gazing, and I could work on myself so that by the next 2 years or 3 years, I'm fully powered by the sun, that I no longer need to eat. Choice is mine. You see where I'm going with this? Choice is mine. Now, which one's going to serve humanity better? Is it going to be me focusing on drama, or is it going to be me focusing on becoming a totally sustained, solar sustained human being? You see, always focus on the light and let the darkness be. Just let it be. It's perfect as it is. Let it be. Seven, I'm a transgender female to male. Any tips to become a masculine being? Well, if you are making the transition from female to male, I take it as you're already feeling the masculine energy predominant inside of you, right? Because the masculine and the feminine are all inside of you. Okay, they're inside of you, they're inside of me, and if you're changing your sex from female to male, then it's already predominant in you. The masculine energy is already predominant in you, and I think what you're asking here is, how can I cultivate it further? Okay, understand the dynamic. Masculine energy is outwards, that's the linga, okay, and feminine energy moves inwards, okay, that's the yoni, linga and yoni, and you can see it in the way the genitals are shaped. So a penis is going outwards, right, and it's aggressive, it goes in, and the linga, the vagina, it takes in, it receives, it's receiving. Okay, so start putting yourself out there in every way possible. Start to put yourself out there. Start to express your opinions on things. Start to be more outspoken. Okay, start to assert yourself. Like, I don't know, if you got an opinion, you got something to say, maybe make a YouTube video on it or write a blog post about it or something. But start to put yourself out there in every aspect of life. Okay, if you're looking for mating partners, take the initiative. Okay, put yourself out there. Because the masculine has the assertive quality about it. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Did you stop working out? No, I still work out almost every day. Samsung or Hawaii? Samsung. I got a Samsung, so I'm biased. What's your favorite tea to drink? Bro, peppermint. Love peppermint. Thoughts on network marketing? I don't really know too much about it. Sufi music plus Wim Hof breathing plus blindfold, great meditation. Agreed. Agreed. How to increase masculinity stems from childhood. How do I heal and gain my health back after being exposed to mold? Okay. Let's go with the how to increase masculinity stems from childhood. I answered the same question, to somebody earlier on. Is to become more assertive. Assert yourself in the world. Assert yourself in the world. Like, I'll tell you what, if like when I started making videos, anybody, even when a woman puts herself out and starts to make videos, even a feminine woman, she's using her masculine energy to assert herself in the world. So start to just assert yourself in the world. Like the act of me putting out videos, that's an assertive act. That's a masculine act. Whether you're a male or female, when you make the choice to assert yourself into the world, that's a masculine act. Okay? So by virtue of putting yourself out into the public, you're using your masculine energy to put yourself out there. So just put yourself out there. Okay? That cultivates masculine energy more and more. Put yourself out there. How to heal and gain my health back after being exposed to mold? Healing is a long process. It takes years. So keep that in mind as you go on about it. What are your thoughts on global warming? Is mankind going to exist in 500 years? Difficult to predict. I'm a little bit more optimistic now with my view, because I think the power of consciousness can be extremely transformative. So I think we got Sadhguru. I was watching Sadhguru about this, and Sadhguru says we have a 30-year window right now. 30-year window. Either we save ourselves and thereby the planet will be okay, or we are gonna go into big troubles and we're going to have to either leave the planet or get destroyed by the planet. Do you bulk or cut or just maintain? I just maintain. What's your plan for Thailand? I too am doing something similar next year, reorienting towards the sun and to further unlearn a few things. So it's very simple. I am looking to go to an island called Koh Phangan, and it's quite a popular island, one of the more popular ones in Thailand. Get a place there and hang out. Just hang out. What else am I gonna do but hang out? Get powered by the sun. I figured I need about $700 to get by. Maybe less now because I'm eating less. So I accounted for visa costs and everything. It's about $700 to be comfortable and not have to worry. For me personally, I got the Patreon. We already got $100 a month, which I'm honestly so surprised with because I've only launched it 3-4 weeks ago. So that's pretty impressive. And if Patreon is not covering it, then I probably will teach English online or something. Okay, but I have a bachelor's degree, so I can do that. So if you have a bachelor's degree, maybe look into teaching English online. It's not that difficult. What's the nicest country you've ever visited? Canada, Rocky Mountains in Alberta and BC. Wow. I lived in Calgary for 4 years. Oh my God. The Rocky Mountains are the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. Life equals moldable illusion. Yes. And to surround myself, not necessarily around like-minded people, but others to learn from. Oh, it's very important. Saeed, so the creator experiencing its creation like a baker eating his own bread. I love it. I love it. Did you guys hear that? The creator experiencing its creation is like the baker eating his own bread. Oh, wow. I love it. I love it. Saeed stepped into the flow. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm in flow, baby. I'm in flow. Do you think that the systematic role of universities, private education, will die in the next few years? Not in the next few years, but with the internet, with the alternative education now, with YouTube, God bless. God bless. I know they do their censoring and stuff, but they can't do that for too long. They just can't, you know? You can't hide the truth in this day and age. You just can't do it. It's springing up like crazy. You can't do it. Yeah, probably in 50 years or so, 30 years maybe. Yeah, maybe it won't become entirely obsolete, but its role will become secondary as opposed to primary. Right now, the education system is primary. Universities and colleges, you're programmed to go to university and college, but I think now more and more people are becoming awake. That's changing up. Like I talked to Gail, my brother Gail here, one of our Patreons. I talked to him via Skype, and I'm gonna bring him on a podcast. And whenever he's ready, Gail, if you're listening, if you're hearing me, I already told people you're gonna be on the podcast. But I was speaking to him. He's 18, and he's not going to college, and I really want to have him on the podcast to talk about it. He's confidently not going to college, and I was very impressed by that. But again, because he's been exposed to these things, when I was 18, there was none of that stuff. No YouTube. YouTube just came out. There wasn't any of this stuff. So I didn't know any better. Just went to college, did what everybody did. But now it's a little bit different. And in 20, 30 years, I think, great significant, I think universities will still be there, but a good amount of people won't simply go by that program. They'll go and do something else. في الغابة قانون يسري في كل مكان، قانون أهمله البشر ونسوه الآن. إخلاص، حب، دافع، عيش، فطري، هانئ، لا ظلم ولا خوف ولا غدر ولا أحسان. That touches my heart, bro. هذا مع القلب. أنت عم تلعب على القلب هلا. الآن عرفنا معنى أغنية ماوكلي. واو. That's crazy. I didn't know. Because I heard this somewhere. Mowgli. Wow. Man, I think I'm gonna watch that again. Also, I'm sad my phone is about to die. I'll have to catch the rest later. Salam and peace, brother. Thank you, brother. Mwah. I find that I'm always interrupted or interrupting people when talking, and it becomes awkward and a feeling of being rushed. What do you believe causes this? I also find myself faking a laugh just to be nice, but it always feels wrong. Yeah, of course. Anytime we're inauthentic, it doesn't feel right. It never will. It never will feel right. Inauthenticity will never feel right. Okay? I told somebody earlier, somebody asked me about, what do you recommend going to a party? And I said, take a cold shower. What else? I said humming, because that's what I do. I hum everywhere I go. I hum. I'm always humming. Humming puts me in flow. I do humming before videos. I do humming before anything. If I'm about to start something, or if I'm about to go into a meeting or talking to somebody on Skype or whatever, I hum for 15, 20 minutes. And you want to use these tools to put you in flow, okay? Because you're not in flow, you're thinking, you're using your rational mind, you're trying to appeal to the other person's image of you, okay? You're essentially trying to appeal to another mental construct, a mental projection. And you're using your mind because you think that person will feel good, or this or that, or it'll make you look smarter or make you look nicer. you're using your mind. Anytime you find yourself in the middle of a conversation using your mind, then you're out of flow, and you want to just put yourself in flow. So you can hum, and it could be like an inner thing. Like you'll be in the middle of a conversation and you find yourself you're getting out of flow, just a slow, calm, like inside of you almost. And if you do this for 2 minutes, it'll put you back in flow. You're looking to be in flow state. If you're in flow state, it's all beautiful, baby. And there is nothing happening, there's no doer. And it becomes very obvious why Buddhists think that there is nothing happening and there's no one and there's nothing to be done. Because there really isn't. There's just a process and a one consciousness animating itself through the process. So get in flow. Get in flow. And if you want more, just start to research. There's a lot of literature and videos on flow states, inducing flow states. So many different states, so many different ways to induce flow state. What is your opinion on microdosing weed? I will try it and begin next week. I've tried to do that for a little while. Weed doesn't sit well with me. For whatever reason, my system and weed, they don't go hand in hand. I used to smoke weed a lot. I was a regular, everyday pot smoker. I tried to microdose weed last summer. And for some reason, I think I'm done with weed. For whatever reason, we outgrow things. I'm done with weed. But if I wanted to give an objective opinion on microdosing weed, I think that probably will be the best way to use weed. Probably. Okay? Because weed, when you smoke too much and you get too baked, you're a lazy slob, or, you're kind of just, right? Like you're not doing anything. But I think maybe the best way to use weed is probably microdosing it. It probably unlocks some creativity in you. So I would be interested to hear your experience. Darius, Said, I love bread, bro. What types are not harmful for my gut? Can you talk more about sprouted grains? Okay. Bread is best avoided, but you love it. You've got to eat it. You've got to enjoy it. That's fine. To minimize the damage, go for sprouted sourdough white bread. Okay, write that down. Sprouted sourdough white bread, not whole wheat. There is a brand in the whole wheat that really does not sit well with the gut. Sprouted sourdough white bread would be your best bet. And as far as sprouted grains, whatever they are, they're better than unsprouted grains. And you should never consume a grain unless it's sprouted. That should be a rule. Action steps on having a deeper voice, routines, exercise, etc. Humming. Again, I know I've been talking a lot about humming. It deepens your voice. Deep breathing exercises, cold showers, and screaming therapy. Go out into the woods and scream. It'll release the tension that is stuck in your throat, that is stuck in your belly, and it'll deepen your breathing, thereby deepening your voice. كل ما أسمع هالأغنية ببكي أخي قلبي والله عن جد. Saeed, can you translate your Arabic viewers' comments? I think your English-speaking subscribers would like to hear what they have to say, and you reply to it. So he used the song from this TV show called, and the Arabic name for it is Mowgli. But the English, actually, they made a movie on it. Mowgli, I think Mowgli. This the the little Indian child that lives in the jungle. So he basically wrote the song of it in the Arabic version, and it's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful song. It's about like connecting to nature, connecting to the deeper self. So look up Mowgli. I think I'm pretty sure I watched the movie in the theater. Mowgli. I think that's, Mowgli. That's what it's called, right? Mowgli. What's DMT like? Are these other things like it apart from LSD? DMT will take you to the realms, different realms of existence, okay? If you break through, it'll take you to all the different realms that I talked about in my Buddhist cosmology video. It'll take you to other realms in the amusement park. It's sort of like teleporting your consciousness from one level of existence to another. LSD at very high dosages can do the same thing. Otherwise, it depends on the dose, depends where you're going with it. You could see visuals, sacred geometry, colors, shapes, morphing patterns, and maybe not. Maybe you won't see anything. So LSD is just a milder version, a milder psychedelic. DMT, if you break through, it'll take you, you'll basically be traveling like an elevator through the different amusement park, different parts of the amusement park, okay? Trying to give up alcohol, do you feel microdosing mushrooms before going out would help socialize? If so, what dose? Probably will help you socialize, yeah. But you're gonna take really small dose, maybe 0.2 grams should be good. The Book of the Jungle, that's the movie's name. Okay, you guys should really look up this movie, the Book of the Jungle, okay? It's a beautiful movie, beautiful. Best psychedelics to treat depression and social anxiety. If you're gonna use it for that context, mushrooms or LSD will do the trick. How to get a thicker, more aesthetic neck? I have a bit of a pencil neck. Well, you know, we're built in a certain way and we've got to honor that, honestly. Some people are built leaner, some people are built more broad, some people are built short, some people are built tall. Honor your build also. Okay, like honestly, just honor it. Don't try to change too much of what God has already done. Honor it. That's honor it. And how much? Okay, yeah. So to get back to your question, best psychedelic to treat depression. How much? 2 grams of mushrooms. 2/3 of a tab of LSD. That's pretty therapeutic. That'll get you moving. Darius, a goal of mine is to learn Arabic. What is the best method in your opinion? Recommended books, programs, TV shows. Thank you, brother. Okay, I'm just gonna tell it to you straight. Arabic is one of the most difficult languages to learn. It's a very difficult language to learn, okay? It's right up there with Mandarin. However, it can be learned. If you want to learn it, you can learn it. As far as what I would do to learn it, there are many different dialects. I would recommend that you don't learn the formal Arabic, but you learn it in a dialect form. And it'll even be easier to learn. Because if you're trying to learn the formal, you'll sound really funny when you speak because nobody speaks it. B, it's like 5 times more difficult to learn than like a dialect form of Arabic. And it's only used in formal settings. So you won't ever actually speak to an Arabic person in a formal Arabic. Okay, so I would recommend either you pick it up in the Egyptian dialect or the Levant dialect. So you can pick Syrian dialect, Lebanese dialect, Egyptian dialect. I would recommend one of those 3. Okay, one of those 3 dialects would probably be good for many reasons. A, because most Arabic speaking people are from the Levant or from Egypt. That's the truth of it. Most people who speak Arabic, Egyptians, they have more than 80 million. The Levant area, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, that's a good 35, 40 million. So most of the Arabic speaking people you'll ever come across, especially out here in different countries, are going to be either Egyptians or from the Levant area. So pick up either Egyptian dialect, Syrian dialect, Lebanese dialect, or Palestinian dialect, one of those. And kind of, if you pick up Egyptian, that's going to be very good, and it's very melodic and musical and comical. Very, very good dialect. I love it. And then if you pick up either Syrian or Palestinian or Lebanese, you'll be okay too because they all are similar. Okay, so pick one and stick with it because you're much better off learning it for conversational purposes, in which it will be much easier to learn. You'll learn a lot quicker. الشباب حبوا اللغة بسببي. شايف يا أيمن شو عملت فيهم؟ شايف شو عملت فيهم؟ One, hola. How to get past sexual repression? Shake your body, do some shaking movements. Okay, you want to release the sexual tension in your groin and second chakra and basically all your chakras because you're a sexual being. You want to shake your body. You want to go into like, I don't know, if you've ever seen like dancing, ecstatic dancing. Any form of ecstatic dancing will help you release your sexual repression. Okay, so ecstatic dancing will probably do the trick. Do you think a physical product that helps guys get good at unhooking a girl's bra by practicing with it would be a valuable product to offer? If so, what do you think would be a good way to sell it? Yeah, it would be, because our world is absolutely obsessed with sex. So you're right in the market. So I think it would be a pretty good product. Now, how do you go on about selling it? I used to be a lot into business. I had a few businesses before. I'm not into that scene anymore, so I'm probably not the right guy for it. I'm probably not the right guy for this question. Do you go for runs? If so, do you prefer sprints or long distance or both? I like both, and I go for runs. I haven't been in a while because it's just been like the snow everywhere, and I will be once the weather gets better and it's nicer. I'll be going on more runs, and I like both. Running is therapeutic and meditative. It's wonderful. Where are you from? Originally, my family's from Syria, and I live in Canada. What's your opinion on Islam? I think for the most part, Sufis understood it more than anybody else. The original Muslims were Sufis. The Prophet Muhammad and the companions were basically Sufis. There was no name for it. And unfortunately, people got lost from the mystical aspect of it. Because if you stay in that space of love, you can't help but be compassionate. But people didn't understand it. The people that came subsequently after the Prophet died didn't have any understanding. They were still very materialistic. They took the Prophet's teachings and interpreted it in a way that serves their ego, their self-interest, passed it down, and now it's sort of a big mess. I think the way Islam is going to get reformed is through an infusion of the mystical Sufi element into it. I don't think it's bad. I think religion is actually great because it contains the truth. Every religion contains the truth. It's a matter of how the religion is practiced. Buddhism is one of the most peaceful and compassionate religions, not because it's better than Islam or anything, but because the way it started off and the way it got carried on into the subsequent generations, it was very understood and carried out in the proper way. So it contained a lot of this compassion that's still very much within it. Islam is no different. Unfortunately, it was misunderstood and carried out in a way that didn't portray the truths that are in Islam. So Islam, the way it is now, needs major reformation. It needs the infusion of the Sufi mystical element into it again. And I think if we're going to have world peace, we're not going to be able to tell people to stop believing what they believe. We're going to have to respect everybody's religion and everything because, people literally die for that stuff. I just think we have to get people to experience God, because if people were experiencing God for themselves, man, there would be no trouble. Everybody would be hugging everybody, and yeah, we wouldn't even need religion at that point. Okay, but yeah. How long do you plan to stay in Kopanjan? Probably a few years. Top 3 no-nos on nutrition, top 3 must-dos. Okay, no, number 1 is eating 3 times a day. I think that is doing a great crime against your digestive system. That's no number 1. So you want to be eating at the most 2 times a day. Okay. No, number two is mixing too many things at once. So if you have a steak and a piece of fruit and a chocolate and this, you're asking your body for disaster. The sugars are gonna ferment in your gut, essentially, because they're gonna hang around there until your body is able to deal with the protein. So mixing up too many food items at once, eating more than twice a day is a no-no. And the third no-no is overeating. Overeating. We do not need much food, period. If you stop overeating, automatically whatever troubles you have in your gut are going to be significantly improved. Top 3 do's is you must be eating fruits because they have so much water in them. Okay, we're so dehydrated, and the best way to get hydrated, believe it or not, is not drinking water. It's fruits. They hydrate you on a cellular level, whatever the hell that means. But all I know is fruits hydrate you much better than water does. That's why you might have tried to keep drinking water and you're still feeling dehydrated. Well, that's because your body is still not getting hydrated on a cellular level. So I would say a diet should be compromised at least 50% fruit should be from your diet. And you might say it's too much sugar, too much insulin. Refer back to the first thing I talked about, which is don't overeat. Yes, if you eat a lot of fruits, that's too much sugar and too much insulin because you're not supposed to be eating all that much. You're supposed to be getting your energy from other sources like the sun, like the breathing, like meditation, like cold exposure. So you're not supposed to be eating that much, period. It could be the healthiest thing. But I would say including 50% in your diet, fruits and live foods. Okay? That would be number 1. And number 2, if you could eat once a day, that'd be amazing. In fact, I'm gonna put it as a must do. And I say a must do because everybody can work up to that. Everybody can work up to that. You understand? Like it took me 4 years to work up to this level. It may take you 5, 6, 7 years, but I really would put it as a must do. I think largely human beings were not meant to be eating more than once a day, if that. And I would put it as a must do at everyone's list, that at some point in your life you program yourself year after year to work your way up to just eating once a day. And the third must do is stop eating 5-6 hours before bed. Okay? Stop eating 5-6 hours before bed. Sufism is the best way to learn the true purpose of Islam and any other religion. I agree. Have you met DMT beings? Well, I never broke through on DMT, but I did meet beings on mushrooms, on high 6 grams dosages of mushrooms, angels and spirit guides and ancestors and nature spirits. So yeah, but no, I mean, they're the same entities. They're the same entities, right? It's just DMT takes you straight up there if you break through, but if you do a large enough dose of mushrooms, you're gonna meet somebody. You're gonna meet somebody. Do you practice mewing, aka tongue posture? No, I do not even know that is a thing. Met you at Mac, great guy, looked to honestly connect. Love you too, brother. Love you too. I read on Reddit that people cured their depression and social anxiety. Hold on, sorry. I read on Reddit that people cured their depression and social anxiety with MDMA. Some people do MDMA alone in front of a mirror, talking good things about themselves, and it has helped. I can see that. I can see that helping. I can definitely, because you just get straight into the subconscious mind. There's like no guards whatsoever. It's crazy. I mean, I've only tried MDMA once, but just if it has the same power as mushrooms or LSD, oh goddamn, that's powerful. I use psychedelics to reprogram myself. I spoke in the live stream how I talked to LSD yesterday, had a conversation with her, okay, with her. And we talked and we said, look, you're gonna help me reprogram my mind so that I don't have to use food for energy anymore. You could talk to these things and they'll help you. Okay, they're incredible. So I can definitely see how MDMA could be used for treating depression, anxiety, reprogramming the subconscious mind. Really. Can I reincarnate as an angel? Yeah. Yeah, you can reincarnate as an angel. Eating twice a day, even as an athlete? If so, what would be the timing of a double training day? Maybe it's different for an athlete. If you're training early in the morning, train on an empty stomach. If you're training twice, train the first practice on an empty stomach. GSP does that. GSP trains in the morning on an empty stomach. He does intermittent fasting. He trains on an empty stomach. That crazy Japanese gymnast who's like literally the best gymnast of all time. I don't recall his name. He eats once a day. So there are some magnificent athletes out there that are eating like once a day or twice a day. So, and they're finding that that's actually better. Are you concerned at all about AI and how fast technology is progressing? Some are saying that merging with technology is a part of our evolution and that it is inevitable. I'm not concerned. I think it'll help us actually. I think it is already doing a lot of the work for us. And I think we will get to a point where technology can feed the planet and do everything for us. And we can just sit back, relax, soak in the beautiful air, soak in the beautiful earth, and work on our spirit. So I'm actually thinking they're allies. What draw you in Koh Phangan in particular? Is there any videos on websites recommended on Koh Phangan? Yeah, Thailand is a huge attraction spot for digital nomads and people who work remotely. It's a big thing. It's a thing. Go just do a simple research. Look up Koh Phangan on YouTube. You'll see so many people showing you their place, showing you how, like, it's cheap. People will go there because it's cheap, right? It's safe and cheap, and it's an island. You know, it doesn't really get better than that. To be in calorie surplus is eating a huge amount of calories in one sitting, not just as bad as eating 2-3 times a day. Still pretty bad, man. It's a lot of calories. You want to get out of the calorie thinking. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. I was stuck in that mentality for so long, and you want to move from calorie thinking into energy thinking. Don't think of it in terms of calories, think of it in terms of energy. So on days where you're energized from meditation, from cold showers, from the sun, you won't need as much food. So think of it in terms of energy. Don't think with your mind. You're eating with your mind. Trust me, I am just getting out of that cycle. Like just now, I'm dragging myself out of the calorie thinking. Don't think of food in terms of calories or nutrition. Think of it in terms of energy. Okay, energy, and I'll explain more in the videos. Okay, I'm gonna be going into like a health rabbit hole on the channel. Okay, because I've been in my cave studying this stuff. I know I've been talking about life being a dream and all this crazy esoteric stuff, but I am actually been for the last 4 or 5 months very immersed with human health, and I only like to do something and make a video on something if I'm fully with it. Okay, so just look out for that. But my advice: stop thinking of food in terms of calories and start thinking of it in terms of energy. People claim that your tongue is meant to be pressed against the roof of your mouth for optimal functions and face aesthetics. I heard that. I actually heard that yesterday. Yes, I was listening to a podcast and somebody mentioned it. Yeah, there must be something to it. What more abstract, lesser known psychedelics have you tried? I've only tried LSD, mushrooms, and DMT. That's it. So, is there any point about worrying about anything if all is just an illusion? Even if someone is not spiritual, even the scientific world says that the sun will die and Earth will be shared wasteland. Yeah, that's why you don't worry, because you're an eternal being. Worry is preposterous. There is no need to worry because you're eternal. You don't die. You are immortal. So if you're immortal, what are you worrying about? This is all like it's just a dream, it's just an illusion, and it, like you said, the sun will die, the solar system will, the earth will be a wasteland, and you're eternal. You don't care. You don't care. You, the being, you don't care. That's why there is no such thing as right or wrong. Even killing animals is not right or wrong. There's no right or wrong about it. From God's perspective, it's all in God's imagination. Okay? Now within that, there is morality. There is don't kill, don't steal. There is the basic golden rule. That's true at one level. And that sort of comes in as a natural result of being more aligned with the light. However, even from that highest perspective, there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. So yeah, because there's nothing to worry about, because you're immortal, and everything in your imagination as the God consciousness in the amusement park, it's all impermanent. So from that perspective, it doesn't matter. From that perspective, nothing matters. So there's no need to worry about anything. Are you from Hamilton? I lived in Hamilton for 9 years. Saeed, do you know how to play the guitar? No idea, man. No idea. What do you think about neck training? Probably putting a lot of unnecessary tension on your neck. Shouldn't you eat when you feel hungry, or will hunger feeling disappear after a while? Yeah, you get used to it. And then because you ask your body and you work with your body, it no longer, like my body now doesn't get hungry until like hour 22, hour 23. It's just now, it's the way it's programmed. And I'm trying to work with the programming to prolong that. Okay, you work with your body, you work with your programming. So it's just, you're a program. So you're inside a program. So work with the programming, really. That's all it is. It's all hunger is. It's just a programmed signal, a habit. Saeed, how do you think I look? Describe me. I wish my third eye was open, but I have no idea. What do you think about high intensity interval training for losing weight? It's great. Are you on a microdose right now? The more appropriate question would be, are you not on a microdose right now? Because 60% of the time, I'm microdosed every time. When skinny fat, should you bulk or cut? When you're skinny fat, you need to do weight training, increase your muscle mass, and tighten up your muscles. Okay, you need to just do weight training, weight resistance training, stimulate the muscles. Just stimulate the muscles. Right now, your muscle content is low. Your ratio, muscle ratio. Just work out, stimulate your muscle progressively like a wall, brick by brick, day by day. Rome wasn't built in a day. You'll be fine. Saeed, what was your favorite junk food when you were a teen? Junior chickens. I love junior chickens. Beans, lentils, chickpeas. Should you do it while in a deficit or surplus? A slight surplus. A slight surplus will do. All right, guys. I think we're gonna end the live stream here. I think we're at the end now. If I am following the force, the flow of things, it seems now that we're coming to an end. So this has been an absolute pleasure, as always. Now, we'll see. I might not do the live stream every week. It may be every other week. Okay, but they've been very interactive, and I've been really, really enjoying them. So we'll just look out on Friday for the posts, for the things that I put on the post, and we'll probably have a live stream next week too. And this has been a blast. Okay, so I will see you guys next week. God bless you all. Thank you very much. I love every single one of you. I love doing this. Okay, and tomorrow we'll have a podcast, because I might have the guests later on. It may be way too late, so it may just come out on Monday. Or we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next live stream. God bless you all.